Hey, JustNet, Holly Q, Allegedly, Joyce Vlogs, Tracy, Living My Truth. Good afternoon, everyone. Clarissa Earl, Eddie Peeler, The Divine Euro. Good afternoon. Miss Dread, good afternoon. Mimi, good afternoon. Thank you all for coming in. Cynthia Jones, good afternoon. Natasha Milan, hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in. Now, let me start out by saying, because I have a couple of things on my chest that um, I guess is sort of bothering me. Ursula Harris, oh gosh, Isheka Harris. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name. Patricia Ellis, Tracy Collins, Tangela Freeman. Good afternoon, everybody. Doppy, hey, how you doing? Bernadette, good afternoon. Just a little bit weighing heavy on my chest. I experienced a live today. I was in the bushes and I just happened to tap in and was in the bushes and my name came up. My name came up. And my issue is if you do not know or you feel a person has an issue with you and you do not know exactly what the issue is, first of all, do not assume I am feeling a certain way because of a certain thing. And I see that a lot of people on YouTube, content creators including, have a tendency to assume because of the situation that they were in at the particular time that the issue came about, they assume that the issue is in support of someone that they're in disagreement with. Now, my issue in that particular chat was not the fact that the individuals involved were having a disagreement, if you will. And I've stated this clearly that it was the behavior that was displayed, which was contradicting the individual's word. Okay, that's where I was coming from. Now, it is obvious to me that people have come and they have looked at, or they've been in my live when I have made these statements and have gone back and twisted what I have said. And instead of individuals going and watching the replay, they take the word of someone that was in there, and that's law. Now, that's very dangerous because what that does is that causes you to miss um, opportunities, and it causes you to miss clearing up something that may not have been what you thought it was. Now, let me make this abundantly clear so that all those that are taking it back can be clear. My issue with the Brother Jay, Tracy, and Joyce Vlog incident had nothing to do with counting or being invested or even interested in where Brother Jay gives his money. That was not it. What it was the behavior and the contradiction of the behavior from the word that you give every time you open your mouth. That's what that was about. And again, now in this particular chat, I will not accept the mind games. I'm too old for that. I have said it before. I'll say it again to Brother Jay personally. Where you are going, young man, I've already been. Okay. And what I'm beginning to see is that your behavior is an insult to your ability to critically think, because you're not thinking for yourself. You're allowing other people to think for you. Now, again, in this chat, when I did speak today, again, I was attacked by the subbies. I was attacked and I was threatened. I will say this. I will say this. You don't know me. Do not threaten me. I am not Sean Bradley. I am not Wiley. I am not any of these people that look at these threats, okay, and will not react. I will say that. I have not disrespected anyone in anyone's chat. And I will not, and I say it again, I will not be disrespected. I will not be disrespected. If we cannot resolve our issues, let's just move on and be cordial. I don't have a problem with Brother Jay or anybody that would stop communication. However, I will say this, and I will call his name out. Brother Jay, you did not communicate. And let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. You used the word, you reached out to me. Brother Jay, you didn't reach out to me. You responded to my email. There is a difference. And your education should very well, since you like to teach people, your education should very well explain that to you. You responded to my email. You did not reach out to me. And from your behavior, you could care less. So in your mentioning me in your live today, what was that all about? Because you don't want to get to the bottom of the issue. Because if you did, you would leave your pride aside. And you would reach out to me after I have already reached out to you. And then the statement that I'm glad to see you still alive. Negro. That was unnecessary. And it was the slick shade, but that's cool because trust me, just as sure as you were born, brother, you are going to reap exactly what you sow. Now you have an ear, but you can't hear. And that's fine with me because that's your decision. That's your choice. That's your choice. And you are entitled to that. That, as James Caldwell says, that's your Pennsylvania privilege. So I'm going to let you have that. But do me a favor, as a man, deal with me as a man. Don't try to embarrass me on your live with your condescending statements, okay? And then let me say this also. Please do not say to me, I don't think. That very phrase tells me where you're coming from, that you don't think. You've gotten too comfortable with your words, and people don't listen to your words. When an individual says that they don't think, that's exactly what they mean. They don't think. Now, I haven't been on here in a while. I haven't made any lives in a while. I've been in people's chat and I've spoken and all that kind of stuff. However, because of what I have been dealing with in my personal life, I took some time for me. Now, I don't like addressing situations like this that involve me because I feel it's unnecessary, because all it takes is reaching out. Now, I've done my part. I was offended by a behavior. I spoke on it. Before I even did any lives, before I said anything on my platform about it, I sent you an email. And what you did was you smoothed it over by saying we're cool. That's not resolving the issue, sir. That's not resolving the issue. That's not accepting responsibility. If I am insulted or attacked on your platform, it is your responsibility to resolve that issue. Now, if you don't have control over your platform, okay, not a problem. So then close your mouth talking about Sean or anyone else, because you're no different. Where is the example, bruh? Where is the example? That's my question to you. Now, as of today, after this live is over, I do not and will not address this issue again. You have my information. You can contact me. You can reach out to me. As the leader that you want to be, show me what you are made of. Show me what you are made of. Because right now, what you're showing me, you can tell me anything, but what you're showing me is who you really are. I said that before, and I reiterate and recapitulate it for your understanding. You all forgive me for going off, but this is ridiculous. I am grown. I am grown. And you will not treat me like you treat these women. That's not going to happen. Now, again, if you are not bold enough to come over to my platform and check out what I said about you, don't take anybody's word for it. Receipts, bro. You talk about receipts, let's show receipts. Let's show receipts. I can back up every single thing that I have said. And if you go back into your past videos, you will see the contradictions that you have made. You will see those contradictions, bruh. Because they're upfront and personal. They're upfront and personal. I'm not on YouTube for beef. That is not what I'm here for. I'm not here to beef to get my numbers up because I could care less. Again, I have successfully completed several careers. I am not on a 9-to-5 job, people. Okay? And I haven't been for 11 years. And I own my own home. I own my cars with an S on the end. Okay? I'm not lacking anything. Just to be clear, I made the right decisions when I was in my 20s so that in my 40s, I could retire, fully retired. Okay? I'm not getting Social Security or I'm fully retired. Let me just put it that way. I am fully retired. I did my time and got out. But before I retired, before my last career, let me put it that way, I succeeded at several careers. And can still go back to them if I want to now. But no, see, you have to hustle. I did my hustling days in my 20s because I understood that there will always be a good time, but there won't always be a time when you set yourself up for the rest of your life. Okay. I had a mentor. I had a mentor that took me under his wing and said, look, this is how you should plan. I can't tell you what to do. I can only suggest and show you how it works. And guess what? It worked. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unnecessary. You set on your live and you said, I don't believe he did that. I don't believe he did that. And I said what I said, and I answered you the way that I wanted to answer. You don't dictate how I answer you. And you can draw whatever conclusion of my answers that I gave you that you want to. Again, I am fully grown. As a matter of fact, I'm grown plus. No, better yet, I'm grown multiplied. Let's put it that way. I'm grown multiplied. You don't tell me how to answer no question that you pose to me. You got yourself all screwed up. Now, I bet you're not used to this. Because again, all props to Sean Bradley. I am not Sean Bradley. You've been to New York, sir. You know how we are in New York, boo. You know exactly how we are. You spent enough time here to know. So don't do it. Because each time you do it, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not trying to make you feel no type of way. However, you mentioned me in your live, and I answered you. You could not accept the answer that I gave you and wanted to manipulate me and somewhat intimidate me into answering the question the way you wanted to answer. You wanted answered in the presence of your live chat. No, that's not how we do it. Again, I am not one of those little kids. I am a grown man, and you are a man hitting 50. Now, if you don't know who you are, that's not my issue. That's not my problem. It's not my concern. Now, I'm going to say this. I am or was from the house of Jay Wilson. If I misunderstood anything that happened, I accept responsibility for that. However, you have responsibility, sir, that you need to accept. If you want to make it right, that's fine. If you don't want to make it right, that's cool. Because again, I'm not on here. I'm not on here trying to supplement my income with YouTube. I'm not on here making it about a coin. And again, you said something about clicks and views. I'm not here for clicks and views. Again, I'm not here to get clicks and views off of Jay Wilson. I'm not here for clicks and views off of Jay Wilson. Again, I am not here to get clicks and views off of Jay Wilson. Please, Jay Wilson, let that sink in. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. Now, again, you are welcome to reach out to me at any time. At any time, you are welcome to reach out to me. And I don't feel some type of way about you. Because when you were going through your transition, and I am the one that prophesied that you were going through a transition, brother. I'm the one that suggested you change your terminology. And as soon as you change your terminology, things began to turn around. Now, didn't they? Didn't they turn around? And I've never asked for a thank you or an appreciation or for you to shout me out. That's not what I did. So let's understand that. Yeah, I think it got my goat. It really got my goat. It got my goat. The interaction really was not favorable. It was not favorable. And even, like I said, even while we were talking, you had people in the chat saying things that you had to see them. You had to see them. No, don't block Johnny Mac. Don't block Johnny Mac. As if being blocked from your platform would hurt my feelings to the point that I'm crushed. No. No. They can keep on playing with God if they want to. They can keep on playing with him if they want to. But sooner or later. Now, people need to learn to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. But we haven't gotten there yet. And then there are excuses even for that people make. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hi, Miss Crumb One. On-site April, good afternoon. Fee O'Brien, welcome. Good afternoon to everyone. Settle down. Good afternoon. China Doll, good afternoon. And let me shout out China Doll. China Doll, your Sunday message yesterday morning, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It was quite inspirational and encouraging to me. Thank you. Sharon Gupton, good afternoon. Miss Diva One, thank you for coming in. Kaylee, good afternoon. You know, a lot of this stuff, we again, I said this before, I say it again. This is our legacy. Every content creator, even to the subbies who comment in the chat, this is a legacy that you're leaving to further to future generations. Use it wisely. Use it wisely. Please use it wisely. Because people will look back on this and see the type of person that you portrayed on here. It is ridiculous. Patricia Ellington, thank you for that. We all were hoping. Food Junkie, welcome. Good afternoon, Food Junkie. We all were hoping. However, it is apparent that your ears are closed and so are your eyes, because you're seeing what you want to see and you're hearing what you want to hear. You're not listening to wise counsel. Those voices in your head are telling you that people are against you that are not against you. I am not against anyone here on YouTube. If I cannot handle what you're giving out, I don't tune in. I don't tune in. If I disagree with something you said, I'll say to you, we need to talk. If I disagree with even with an attitude in which it was said, because so often what we say may be innocent, we may mean it in a non-condescending or non-judgmental way. But because at the point that we might be in our feelings, it comes out differently. So I will, if I'm offended, if I have an issue, then it is my responsibility to let it be known. It is not my letting it be known is not for a beef. And again, like I said in my email to Brother Jay, I'm not telling you what to do, as you have so eloquently put it. I didn't die on the cross for you, so I'm not going to tell you what to do. But I will say this: what God are you listening to? Because there seems to be a lot of gods in your chat that are saying things, especially about me, that number one, they don't know. And number two, that they just want to stir up confusion. And I've noticed every time you fall for it, you fall for it. And after it comes up on the screen in your chat, your next statement is not unbiased or neutral, but your statement is based upon what the individual said, right or wrong, misconception and all, rather than getting it from the source. And then you came at me as if to control me. We're not doing that. I'm past all of that. Been there, done that. I'm past all of that. That's not what I do, nor is that what I allow to be done to me. And if you cannot accept that I am an individual who is in control of himself and will not yield control to any leader, because see, it appears to me that you may have gotten out of the organized religion which you so vehemently criticize, but you haven't gotten it out of you because you behaved like that preacher that doesn't want to be confronted, that doesn't want to accept responsibility for his actions and his thoughts and his behaviors. So then, you are no better than the people that you critique and criticize. No better. And that's just my observation. It is not a read. It is fact. And people on here, you need to know the difference between reading and the difference between stating facts. I'm not reading Jay Wilson. I'm just speaking from my observation. Now, again, I know that Jay Wilson is not going to see this because he has already made it apparent that even my being at the time from the House of Wilson, from what he has said so far to me, is that he has not come over to check out my platform. So therefore, if that is the case, and I can be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I accept responsibility for my wrong assessment. But if that's the case, there was no relationship. There was no relationship at all. None. There was no concern. There was no concern. No concern whatsoever. And that's cool, because I didn't come on here for Jay Wilson. And please don't misunderstand. There's nothing that Jay Wilson has, nothing that he possesses, that I am enamored by. Not his intellect, nor his worldly possessions. Again, been there, done that. And I have my own. I have my own. I worked for mine. Hey, J-Doc, my vlog son, bless you. Hey, Tupac. Okay. I just wanted to address this because it's ridiculous. And let me say this again to anybody in this particular chat. Hey, Melancholy. Hey, Rainy D. Designs by V, good afternoon. Felicia Fee. Sean Bradley, what's up? Again, I'm not coming for Jay Wilson. What's up, The Wrench? I'm not coming for Jay Wilson. I just needed to address the situation that happened. That's where I'm coming from, because again, I will not be treated with a disrespect. And again, you see, I'm a person, I'm a firm believer that, and Jay Wilson has said this, if you tell part truth and part untruth, it's all a lie. You said that you reached out to me. And again, let me clear that up. You responded to my reaching out to you, and there is a difference. There is a difference. So anybody that goes back and communicates with him, be sure to be accurate, because again, I know that he's not going to watch the video because he's not concerned, which means you miss opportunities, and that's fine, because that's your choice. However, do your thing. As I said in my email, grace and peace be unto you from God our Father and his Son, Jesus Christ. Grace and peace. See, you have to be careful when you say, when you tell people Godspeed. I'm not going to tell you Godspeed. I'm just going to say grace and peace. The grace of God and the peace of God be in you and with you. And again, I'm not angry with you. I am not angry. But you just need to know. And again, I have to say this because I want to drive this point home. I'm not coming for Jay Wilson. I am not coming for Jay Wilson. However, I'm using my platform to do what he does on his platform at this point, and that is to confront the issue. And you are welcome, Jay Wilson, to reach out to me in the truest form of the word. You have my information. You can do that. Yeah, we know he watch everything and then say that he doesn't go over there for negative videos. I don't think that anything I've done was negative towards you. I didn't make any negative. Again, you have to be discerning who you listen to, because see, if you're not getting it from the source, then um, people twist things for their own purposes. They use things for their own purposes. And I don't stand behind what I say. I stand in what I say. I stand in what I say. And then too, let me admonish you, because this saying has been said in reference to several people on YouTube. And that is that you will have confrontation with women, especially with gay men on here, that they welcome confrontation and battling with women, but when a man says something to them, they don't want to be involved. They don't want to go back and forth. And a man will confront the issues with the individual, with the man that he has the issue with, and settle it. Whether it is they move from that point and continue a relationship, or whether they go their separate ways and just be cordial with each other in respect. But again, I will not be disrespected. And if I'm in your chat and I am disrespected or attacked, I'm out. I'm out. Especially if you are reading the comments and you say nothing. You say nothing, or you say it nonchalantly. Don't attack Johnny Mac. No. In my observation, it should be that no one feels comfortable attacking anyone in your chat. No one should feel that comfortable, especially without you or your moderators in check. I've been in Brother Jay's chat, as a matter of fact, in the service, where two people were going at it, and I asked them that while the service was going on, to behave accordingly. And I was timed out. Okay? I was timed out. I was timed out because the two individuals were going at it. So it's, and I'm not holding that against anyone. Let me say that. I was a little surprised by it, if you will. I was a little surprised because I had never been in anything in anybody's chat, and all I did was say, the word is going forth. Let's govern ourselves accordingly. And I got timed out. So this is what I'm saying. If you want to address me, just address me as someone with respect. Because see, I'm not gonna go back and forth. And if you threaten me, trust me, I don't take threats. I don't like threats, and I don't make them, or at least I do my best not to make any or infer that I'm making any threats. Because some people are just that way, that when you put them in that position, they come for you, because everybody can be found. And that's not a threat. That's just an example. That's just a statement. Any and everybody can be found. Well, except Jimmy Hoffa. They did a good job with hiding that body. Hey, M. Bernadette, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am honored that you are here, M. Bernadette. You know, I do beg your pardon for the mood. It's just that a situation occurred today that I wanted to address, because I didn't think it was, I didn't think it was proper, and it should have been handled a lot differently. And it was not handled differently. And let me say this to everybody that's in here. And I'm sure it's going to get back to James Wilson. My issue with the incident with James Wilson Treacy and Joyce Vlogs was the fact that he did not exercise any self-control in that situation, as being Vlogfather, if you will, or the mentor. As being the mentor, the yelling is what offended me. That is what offended me, was the yelling. That's what was offensive. And I'm not going to speak for everybody, but for me, that was offensive. It was out of character. It was beneath class. As a man, to do that on a public platform, especially someone else's platform, was a blatant disrespect, first for yourself and then to the individuals involved. Whether any party was right or wrong in what they did, no one blatantly disrespected you to deserve yelling and not communicating. To me, yes, it was a form of abuse and a form of control. That was my issue. And when I iterated or attempted to iterate that to Brother Jay, I was disrespected, I was attacked, and I felt that Brother Jay did not even handle that properly. Because you preach having wise counsel, but your ears are closed to wise counsel. So you can't have it both ways. You can't tell me what I should do or how I should operate, and you not be the example. It's about example. You can read the word, you can expound on the word, you can sing and dance or whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, it is your example. Because again, when it comes to the word of God, we become serious. I don't care if you're messy, I don't care, whatever. When it comes to the word of God, we become serious. So when you give out and do not behave like you have it in you, there is a disconnect. And at that point, I see, and most people don't want to be bothered. And this is the dilemma, or this is the situation that the Black church is in today. Because what is exposing most of these people is not other people. What's exposing people is themselves, because they say one thing and they do the total opposite, and then come back and try to justify and excuse their behaviors, and then step into that role again of leader and orator. And I can tell you how you need to have a relationship, but there's a disconnect in my relationship because I'm not living proof of it. And then to continue to beat that dead horse, to continue to beat it, says to me that you're having a problem with your content. And again, I'm not trying to come for Jay Wilson, but bruh, look at, you don't even have to come to my platform and look at the videos. You can look at your own videos. Sit down and go through your own videos and watch the behaviors. You know, when we were going through, we were humble. But once we got a leg up, then we start to shift as if we don't need anybody. Or as if we can say what we want to say and then treat people differently. That's just me, my observation. Hey, Mike, senior citizen, retired. What's up? How you doing? Welcome. And then again, I go back to my old saying when I first came on here. Wow. Just wow. Now I'm going to say this. Exactly, Miss Crumb One. And then now, and that's just with those of us from I would say my daughter's generation on up, but the generation that's behind us don't want to be bothered because it does not make sense. They don't want to do church, or they don't want to do traditional church because it does not make sense. They already see that it is nothing but manipulation and control. And this was my issue, and it was my issue as a musician. It was my issue as a singer. It was my issue as a minister. It was my issue as a pastor. And I cannot be responsible for someone's soul saying one thing or telling them how to do or how to live, and I'm not living. So I got in trouble with a lot of pastors because my ministry was the truth. My ministry was transparency. My ministry was debunking and dispelling a lot of the ignorance and illiteracy. Not using my Bible as a weapon against the people, to control people. That was not my ministry. That's not what God called me to do. I couldn't be part of the old boys club, because I want your life to be, I want my life to be a reflection of what I'm putting into you. So if I'm driving a Rolls Royce, I don't want to be the only one in my church or the church that I'm pastoring driving a Rolls Royce. I want everybody to drive a Rolls Royce. If my maid is driving a Mercedes, everybody should have a maid, and their maid should be driving a Mercedes. So it was my ministry to break and to destroy those chains that had people bound. It was about living a successful and joyous life with the knowledge and relationship with God, with Yahweh. That's what my ministry has always been about. My mother's a pastor. My mother's husband is a bishop. And we have had what I call knock down, drag out discussions, because people like to take the word of God out of context and dress it up and make it sound good to control you and manipulate you out of what God has intended for you. I'm the big cheese, so nobody can be better than me. Listen, Henry Ford did something that was remarkable. I'm trying to remember. I think it was, he was suing the newspaper for defamation and all that kind of stuff. And he was asked, several general questions about knowledge, just general knowledge, questions about general knowledge. And his answer was, why should I fill my head up with all of this when I can press a button and have someone come and answer the question that is their field? Makes sense? What I'm saying by that is, what motivates me in my ministry is people that are in the know, people that are educated. Because people that are educated in my ministry push me to stay on top of, not my game, but stay on top of my profession. Yes, I have been to seminary as well. I have been to seminary. However, that is not a weapon. That's an achievement. That's an experience. And then what I learned in seminary is the letter, but the spirit maketh alive. So in implementing and in further investigation in the word, I find that, oh, and this is getting deep. I begin to find the real nuggets that are hidden up under the surface, the real truths, the real revelation. Not the revelation that from someone else's opinion or someone else's well, that's a good word, from someone else's opinion, but peeling the onion back and getting in the middle, getting to the crux of the matter. Rum Raisin, welcome. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Hey, Mo, how you doing, Mo? You know how I feel about you, Mo. 6 of 7, thank you for being here. You know, again, a lot of this stuff, you know, we take too far, and it's unnecessary. Just communication, and I heard Maturus say this, and I had to agree. Communication is more than just talking. Communication, it's more listening than talking. More listening than it is talking. Because you can talk all day, but if I'm not listening, I'm not going to hear you. And again, I have missed the communication that you were doing. So people, let's start listening to each other. Let's learn to say what we mean and mean what we say, and not just do it in our emotion. Again, you cannot think and feel at the same time. Think about it, then respond. Listen, think about it, and then respond. Hey, D. Ramsey, good afternoon. Oh, you're at work? Yeah, we're having a pretty good day. Up in New York, it's hot. Can't wait to see you when you get here next month. I'm going to try to stay in New York until I get a chance to, be in your presence. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Jaded Nerd, good afternoon. My brother, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see you. So glad to see you. Again, today, people, be encouraged. Be encouraged. There's a lot of stuff going on, as Tracy would say. There's a lot of stuff going on in these streets. I didn't get the voice quite right this time. But anyway, there's a lot going on, y'all. Yeah, there it is. There's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on. But let's not get so wrapped up. Let's not get so wrapped up. And I'm trying my best to stay clear of the James Caldwell and Sean Bradley issue. But there are some things that I have seen throughout this last weekend that there's some things I've seen that concern me. Yeah, and I know some people can say that, but that's none of your business. But I'm going to say this to a lot of people, to everybody here. If you was to go back, if you were to go back, there's some, and if you go back into some of the videos, you will be able to hear some of the things. Mr. Ron Price, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for being here. You will hear some things that will put it into perspective. I love Sean and I love James. And whatever their relationship at this moment is what it is. And see, we have to get out of this judgmental position. We've got to get out of this judgmental position where we look at things as right or wrong, rather than looking at things as they are. It is what it is. And not being emotionally attached to the point where we go after and attack people for doing what they do. We get all emotional and too connected emotionally. And then we turn around and we attack people. Stop attacking people for doing what they want to do. And then it makes me look at the individual side eye, because the individuals that are doing the attacking, something is wrong within yourself. Something is not aligned within yourself that you feel justified to insert and attack. It's going to be whatever it's going to be. What it is today, it may not be tomorrow. And again, my question is this: what effect does that have on your life? How does it affect your life? What does it stop in your life? It stops nothing in my life. So therefore, it is what it is. It is not right. It is not wrong. It is what it is. It is what it is. Accept it for what it is and move on. Move on. There have been people that we have all, at one point or another. Let me use me as an example. I had a very close friend that I considered my brother. We were teenagers together. He was a little older than me, but we were teenagers together. And we went through our teens and our 20s and our 30s and our 40s. Now, there were a lot of things that I remember. I was 49 at this point, getting ready to be 50. Now, here's something that's very important to all of you that are on the precipice of 50. You begin to go through changes or a metamorphosis. Things that mattered up until that point are no longer important. So what happened to me was I began to see that the relationship all these years was different than what I thought it was. And came to a realization that it wasn't based upon truth, transparency, and honesty. There were impressions that were given out to people from the other party that I really didn't pay attention to. I had no clue until the night of the celebration of my 50th birthday. It all came into perspective. Let me give you a little taste of what happened. This individual wrote a $500 check and presented it to me as my friend and brother. Okay? My birthday is in October. And then says to me about a week later, listen, don't cash that check until I let you know it's good to cash it. January, still had the check. February, still had the check. By the beginning of March, I believe it was, I put that check in an envelope, addressed it to the individual, and put the individual's name and address as the return address, so that they so that it would not be lost in the mail, and it would definitely get delivered. Because if it didn't get delivered by one address, the return address, it would go back. Why did I do that? I did that because it is now March from October, and I'm holding a piece of paper that's no more good to me than last month's AMP circular. And someone said to me, it's the thought that matters. Okay. Well, October, March, what was the thought behind that? But however, the friendship, I began to notice these things beforehand and prepared myself to go my own way. No disrespect, no big blow up, still respect the individual, still, if the individual needed something and called me for something, I would be there for them. However, that kind of mentality, I don't want in my circle. But saying that to say this is that things happen, relationships change. It is what it is. Rather than fight or attack someone because they are going their separate ways, who is the biggest loser? Neither of the people that are going their different ways are losing. However, those that are doing the attacking are losing time, losing energy, losing brain power and brain cells that will never be replaced. You'll never be able to redeem that. Accept it for what it is. If you have to grieve, grieve. But accept it and let's move on. Like I said, I love all parties involved, because all parties involved, and I say this authentically and sincerely, all parties involved, Sean Bradley and James Colwell, have been a blessing to me. They have been a blessing to me. So I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to fight for or fight against. I accept it for what it is, and I move forward. So let's all do that. Or at least consider. All I can ask is that you consider. Just consider. All right, I've been on here about an hour and 10 minutes almost. I appreciate everybody that has come in. Mr. Sean Bradley, I'm honored that you are here. Really, I am. I am really honored that you are here. My vlog son, J. Dot, welcome, 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 welcome. And I have, Tracy, you know how I feel about you. I appreciate you. I appreciate Tracy, because Tracy has been, and I'm not saying this to suck up to nobody, but Tracy has been the same from day one. I was there when she did her first launch from Jay Wilson's. I was there and I found her interesting, so I subscribed, and I haven't been disappointed with everything that has been happening through the course of her growth. I have not been disappointed. I have laughed a lot. Last night we had the best time. The pieces with Tracy. We had the best time. And again, I was turned on to different ones on here. So, Tracy, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the selflessness. I have to say this, and again, I'm not sucking up. I'm just giving honor where honor is due. Tracy has been selfless. When I say that, she has been one of those people that have shouted out, not just shouted out other content creators, but she has made it a staple on her platform to say, listen, people, we got to get these people to 1,000 because everybody can eat. Everybody can make a coin. And when I see the impact that it's had with other content creators that have made their thousands, it blesses me. It blesses me. If I never make 1,000, just being in the presence of some of you content creators that have blessed me, I appreciate you. If I should never come on YouTube after today, I appreciate all of you. Maturish, you know how I feel about you. You have been such an encouragement to me. I appreciate you. Crazy 500, I appreciate you and your kind words and your support. Everybody. And even I have to say this. I was talking in my chat one time, and no, was it my chat or somebody else's chat? And Sean had asked me a question, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because no one has to hey Zionia Pearl, no one has to acknowledge you, especially those content creators that, and I know somebody gonna say something, but that have a large following, that have recognized and that have shared. They don't have to do it, but I appreciate everyone that has shared with me, even moderators in other chats that have shared things with me, like Ron Price and J. Dot. I just want to spread love to everybody. And my purpose is to allow, or to be the tool or the catalyst that broadens not only your perspective, but the boundaries of how you think and how you see things. Giving you, sharing with you tools that I have used that have helped me retire before I was 50 years old. And you're able to enjoy your life and not just retire and then die before you are able to enjoy the fruit of your labor. That's what my purpose is. And I have to shout out, there's another content creator that I have to shout out who has been very graceful to me, and that is Timothy Blaine. Timothy, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Things that you may not even know that you shared with me. I appreciate the encouragement. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. K Got Body, how you doing? Good to see you. Leandrius Vines, much love to you, my dear. Much love to you. I just want to share love. I just want to share love, and authentic, not because of, but in spite of. And listen, when we learn to love in spite of, that's real love. That is real love. Real love is not loving someone because of who they are or because of what you can get from them, but is true love is loving them irregardless of the errors they make, and being there for them regardless. One of the things that I told my daughter is, I can't keep you from making decisions that are not comfortable, or the consequence of them are not comfortable. However, what I will do is be here for you. I will be here for you. That however it turns out, no judgment. So loving someone, truly loving someone, is loving them without judgment and not trying to control the decisions they make, but sharing with them, pulling their coattail, tapping them on the shoulder. And even with that, let me say this, we have to be careful how we speak or tap someone on the shoulder, because depending on the attitude, because the attitude, how you really feel will show through. How you really feel will show through. And what will happen is other people will be offended, not at what the person did, but how you addressed it. So we have to be very careful. And I hope that no one was offended by anything I said, because it wasn't to offend anyone. It was to address a situation that I experienced. And I'm glad that I have my own platform to do that, whether that other person gets it, whether they see it or not. It is so that they understand that I have boundaries that I will not cross, and boundaries that I will not allow you to cross. Jack Richard, 27 is not old. 27 is just the beginning. You still have time to make decisions to make your life the best it can be, not just for today, but for tomorrow. Oh, it's Jack's birthday. Okay, Jack Richard, I'm going to sing happy birthday to Jack Richard. Can we all sing happy birthday to Jack Richards? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, oh, Jack Richard. Happy birthday to you, and may you have many more. Happy birthday, Jack, and many more. That's beautiful. I appreciate that, you all. I appreciate Candy Jones time. You know, every time I see your name, Candy Jones, I think about D. Ramsey. Welcome and thank you. Yeah, man, you're worth a happy birthday song too. Yes. Now, enjoy your birthday. Enjoy yourself. Do something to make yourself happy. If you need to pamper yourself, pamper yourself. Buy you something special and enjoy. Listen, let me say this to everybody, especially y'all that are still working. And I have to credit D. Ramsey for this, because she reminded me. One of the things I did when I was working a straight 9 to 5, and I'm still not going to tell y'all what I did for a living. I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, I made a habit, because I worked. I felt that I deserved to be pampered sometimes. So I think maybe like once a month, I would go to the spa. I would treat myself to a Broadway show. I would do, hotel in the city. I would treat myself. Well, there is a secret I'm going to give out. Beloveds, I love shoes. I love shoes, and I collect watches. So a lot of times when I did something for myself, that's what it wound up being. And trust me, I got enough shoes. Tracy, I've got enough shoes to open up a shoe store. Yeah, I got enough shoes to open up a shoe store. But that's what I would do for myself. And let me encourage all of you, take some time for you. Do something for you. So often, when you decide to do something for you, to pamper yourself, to make yourself feel good, you come back with a whole different perspective, more motivated and more focused on your goal, a new fervor. Okay? So do that for me. I challenge you. I challenge every one of you. China Dolls, Ionia Pearl, Ona Corona. Hey, Ona Corona, I'm glad to see you here. All of you, I challenge you to take a little time out and pamper yourself. Do something that you've been putting off, that you've wanted to do, that you know that you would enjoy, and just go for it. And just go for it. Again, you release a whole lot of tension in yourself, because we are so consumed of being there and doing things for everyone else and not taking time for ourselves. And listen, I know mothers, I congratulate mothers. I give mothers their prop, because they are the prime example of doing stuff for everyone else. However, to the men in here, a lot of you sacrifice just as much, maybe in other ways, but you sacrifice and you don't think of yourselves. Take some time, go and get a massage. Get your mani and pedi done. You'll feel a whole lot better. And it'll shoot your self-worth up. And it'll make you a little more appealing to your partner. All right, people. I've been on here an hour and 25 minutes. I appreciate all of you that have come in and hey, Chupacabra, welcome. I'm glad to see you. Chupacabra. Every time I try to pronounce that name, I get all tongue twisted, but I thank you for being here. I am unknown for now. Welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Angie baby, what's up? Hi. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you being here. Lady Karen, hey, how you doing, dear? I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming by. Thank you so much for coming by. And D Ramsey, you know how I feel about you. Something I wanted to say to you, D Ramsey. I didn't say it the other night when I watched your live. But you were such a blessing to me in that live with the books that your son was giving out, the names of the books. I appreciate that because I have a granddaughter that's 20, a granddaughter that's 21, and I have a grandson that is 16. I think he's 16, 15. No, he's 15. And I have decided to gift them those books along with their mother, so that they can have conversation. D Ramsey, you are a phenomenal content creator with the stuff that you share, and that's from the heart. Well, you know that because I have always tried to say that to you, but I'm saying it out now loud so everybody in this chat can hear me say that. I have been blessed from day one of watching you and subscribing to you. Thank you for all that you do. Believe me, all that you do has not been in vain, my dear. And I don't care how many people try to come for you and cuss you out. Your work speaks for you. And anytime somebody bless me, I want to bless them back. You have blessed me, and I thank you. And on my platform, I just want to let you know, I believe in giving you your flowers while you can smell them, your flowers while you yet live, your thank yous and your appreciation while you can hear it come out of my mouth, from my mouth to your ears. D Ramsey, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, Tracy, you know how I feel about you. Sean Bradley, if you're still in the room, thank you so very, very much. And to all the content creators in here, I wish you love. I wish you love. I wish you love. I really wish you love. More love than your mind can conceive. More love than your heart can feel. And much more love than your hands can hold. Thank you all for coming in and sitting for an hour and 30 minutes with Johnny Mac 365. I almost said 369. Where food junkie must be in here somewhere or in the bushes. I'm sorry. I appreciate you all, and thank you for coming and hanging out with a brother. Love to everybody. You guys take care, and I will be back. I'm going to do better. I'm going to get a little more consistent. Thank you all. Love you all. J. Dot, my vlog son, you know how I love you, and I thank you for your encouragement. The reason why I encourage you is because, well, you encourage me. So I think it's not robbery to pay you back or pay it forward or what have you. Just let you know how I feel. I appreciate you. And like I said to you, the manifestation of your dreams are on the horizon. Bruh, keep your focus because it is yours and it is there for you. Accept it and walk right into it. All right, people. Love you all. You all have a good rest of your Monday.